Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Anklebiter, and today we're going to be doing a Clown Crew deck profile. And before we jump into this, I want to go ahead and shout out Bones YGO for sharing my last X-Saber hand loop video. After they shared it, I got a lot of traction, and it was the most views I gotten in such a short amount of time, so I appreciate them for doing that. I love him, and he's awesome. Alright, so moving on. Starting off, we're playing a bunch of hand traps. We're playing 2 Nibiru, 1 Harmonia, 1 Magnuma, Druid Swarm, and a Baldrake, along with 3 Fuas, 3 Ash, 3 Ghost Bell, and then we're playing the Floodgate, Vanity's Fiend. Moving on to the Clown Crew cards, we're playing 3 Bianca Viso, 3 Flare, 3 Rehearsal, 3 Malabarisme, 2 Matinee. You could think about playing 1. I like 2 just in case 1 gets banished. 3 Preparation of Rites, 3 Fallen of Virtuous, a Called By, and a Survey Operations. And then for the extra deck, we're playing 3 Diablo, 3 Meteor, 3 Fiends, 3 Fallen targets, and 3 Harmonia targets. Then for the side deck, we're playing Perulia, since sometimes Pua isn't good against some decks. Dimension Shifter, auto wins some matchups. 3 Raw Sphere Mode. This one's questionable. I like it in certain matchups. I like it against Eniacraft specifically, but you could really replace this with anything. I was thinking maybe Retaliating Sea wouldn't be bad, but besides that, yeah, use your own discretion. We're playing 1 Harpies, 1 Triple Tactics, a Solemn Judgment, and 2 Strike, as well as 3 Evenly Matched. This deck has a lot of pros. That being, you can play a lot of hand traps, you can draw a lot of cards, and honestly, drawing a lot of hand traps is kind of your win condition, especially if you get your play to go off. And you can play a Floodgate. And Floodgates are good, and until they ban them, play them unapologetically. We only play 1 Harmonia because you can search it off Magnuma, and I feel like 2 is clunky. Nibiru, I think, is really powerful, especially you can... During your opponent's turn, you can activate Nibiru, chain Malabarisme, proc the effects off the targets summoned by Malabarisme, and then get 2 more draws off your Matinee during their turn, which is nice. I like 2 Matinee just because sometimes the first Matinee goes away. Sometimes they get away from it, and honestly, this card is kind of what makes you win the game. Without it, the deck just runs out of steam. So if your opponent started their turn, cosmics it, and gets you into, or maybe not cosmic, but banishes it by some means or destroys it by some means, and you don't want to have to go through the steps of getting Meteor tributed to get it back. 2 is great, and then it also allows you to start your plays sometimes. Sometimes you open, a Matinee and one of the level 6s, or, Bianca Viso, and that can get you right into your plays as well. You could think about playing Crossout. Oftentimes, you run across Droll. You could think about playing Droll in the side deck. And that's kind of I wouldn't say auto-lose, but it definitely slows you down. This deck can struggle going second, especially if you don't open Fua, but if you open a hand trap heavy hand and enough cards to get you started, you should be fine. So I'm just going to show you how to combo with this deck and the preferred ways to do it. There's 2 ways you could look at this hand. Either you could play around Droll or you could play for efficiency. Often, I feel like in game one you don't need to play around Droll as often because it's often going to be sided in and not main decked. But I do like to play around Ash. So a way you can bait the Ash is with the Preparation of Rites here, because we've already got the search for off of Rehearsal. Then we'll activate the Flare, and this pretty much gives them a chance to Ash you again, which they might, but most likely they're going to try and Ash the Rehearsal. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add Malabarisme to our hand, and then Ghost Bell is probably less impactful than the other cards. We'll discard that. That way, if they Ash the Rehearsal, you still have Malabarisme and Bianca Viso in hand. You would activate this here, and we're playing against a bot, so they're not going to actually do anything to us. But this is where you would then add Malabarisme and Bianca Viso. But since we already added Malabarisme, we might as well add Matinee Operatics to our hand. That way, if the Malabarisme gets ashed, which is possible, then we'll still have access to Matinee, which is kind of your win con in this deck. We're going to click on No for shuffling Flare back so it keeps our deck thinner. Activate this and hope they don't ash it. If they don't, then you're good. We've already got the spell card we want, so we can just go ahead and go for... It really wouldn't matter. I guess Fiends would be better here instead of just to thin the deck a little bit, since we're going to add a spell back with the Synchro anyways. We tribute those two. Activate the draw first. Activate the set second. Activate the spell last. Really, those are interchangeable, but you just want the draw to be first. That way you thin your deck first before doing anything else. We'll set the Malabarisme, so we have one during our opponent's turn. We'll set Surrey. Draw 2. Play this. And I guess we'll hold on to the Druid Swarm. Activate this. Bring out Meteor. And now, during our end phase, I believe we'll draw 3 cards. We'll hold on to this because even though we'll have 7 cards, if we don't draw a spell off of Operatics, we'll just set this with it. Perfect. Set the Fallen. During your opponent's draw phase, you activate Surrey. We already have Bianca Viso, but it can't hurt to have another one. I guess unless you wanted to activate Rehearsal again, but at this point, I think it's unnecessary. During your opponent's main phase, let's say they play a card. You activate Surrey. Then you chain Malabarisme. You can set the Flare to get a Book of Moon. We're just going to go for Fiends and Fusion. Activate this to draw 2. Activate this to add a card back. Activate this to set another spell from deck. And at this point, I think it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to win here. You've got 2 Bestials, a Nibiru, an Ash, a Fallen and the Virtuous, and depending on what they were playing, you would keep that one face up on the field. But yeah, I think this is pretty much an auto-win position. Alright, let's go for the next hand. Okay, so this is the kind of hand where you just hope they don't have Ash. You activate Prep. You add Flare. Activate Flare. Add Rehearsal. It could be wrong or right to discard the Ghost Bell or Ash Blossom here, but I think getting the add off of Surrey is important. So yeah, we're going to discard the Ghost Bell. And we'll activate this. Allowing that to add Malabarisme and Bianca Viso. Activate Malabarisme. Go here. And we've already got the trap, so there's no need for the fusion. You normal summon. Draw 2. Add back. Set spell. Set here. Set here. Play this. Grab the synchro. Set this. And our end phase will draw 3. During their draw phase, do this to add. We're actually going to add flare since we've already got a Bianca Viso. I think that might have been the right move in the last replay too. You let them get the draw, make an action. You activate Saray, flip Malabarisme, go here, go here. And then as soon as that resolves, since we drew a Vanity's Fiend, we use this. Normal summon. I guess you might as well go ahead and return all the fusions back. And now they're facing a Vanity's Fiend, a Fallen and the Virtuous, an Ash Blossom, and a Ghost Bell. And I think you win from there. And then during the end phase, if they can't out it, they can't out everything, you're going to draw 3 more cards. So yeah. We'll do one more hand. Alright, so here's an example of an awkward hand. There's a couple ways you could go about this one. I would probably just play the Matinee, attempt a special, go for the Spell Getter, just do 1 tribute for the Bianca Viso, use his effect to draw, use this guy's effect to set. We'll set the add spell. We will tribute the Vanity's Fiend since we have an extra to add Malabarisme and another Bianca Viso. If we didn't have the trap, we would probably add the trap. But since we already had it, we would add the trap so that during our opponent's turn we'd have a way to get into our normal summon. Even if this guy got outed. You pass. I think we draw 1. During the draw phase, do this to add. Activate Malabarisme. We can't activate Saray Operations as Chainlink 1 because we don't control 2 tributes. So you have to do this one first and let it resolve. Now we activate the trap. We use its effect to draw 2. Add back. Set. And then on resolution, you could wait until they activate an effect to special, or you could just play it safe and go ahead and activate this guy. And then if they negated his effect, you'd have another one because he's not a hard once per turn. And then yeah, I think you're in a good position here. Vanity's Fiend is often enough to stop a deck in its tracks, as well as you've got Harmonia and a Ghost Spell. Not the most, but you know, if they out the Vanity's Fiend, you've got the Harmonia and the Ghost Spell. So I think it's quality. I think it's quality. And then during the end phase, we're going to draw 2. That's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any tips or suggestions, be sure to leave it down in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe because I told you to. And I love you. Good night.